Hey, you guys. Thank you guys for coming to Porch Pickings. You guys, I apologize. I'm late. I have several uh, reviews that I still yet have to do. But thankful to my butterfly who looked out for me and understood my situation, and she got some information over to me. I appreciate you, Morgan Ovid. Thank you so very much. Um, You guys, this review is going to be basically concerning or talking about the reunion part 3 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. You guys, again, welcome to Porch Pickings. Um, y'all come on in, just sit back, whatever you're doing, just listen. Just take a minute, just chill, just listen, right? Just listen. So, I want to begin my porch pickings with Towel Lit. I want to bring Kimmy Grant. I want to bring Kimmy Grant up to the first step of porch pickings. I want to talk about her and just how I just want to talk about her. I just want to talk about her. I just want to kind of, talk about her, and I want to get you guys' input on what you thought of the Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion part 3 episode or whatever. Although Kimmy was not called on or was not asked so many questions or whatever, but she was still there. And you guys, I'm not going to go into any particular order. However, Kimmy Grant has been brought up to the first step of the porch. I watched the review, and I know I spoke about Kimmy a few reviews back. If you guys looked at my videos, I've talked about Kimmy, and I've said how Kimmy seems to be just a male identified type of woman, and Kimmy is an older woman. No shade, no tea. I'm an older woman. I'm not as old as she, but that's neither here nor there. However, Kimmy, if I'm not mistaken, she's married to Maurice Scott. And if I'm not mistaken, this is her first marriage, right? This is her first rodeo. I couldn't help but notice how Kimmy was never supportive. How, if any, if she was at all. I didn't see it, you guys. Drop down in the chat. Let me know what you think. I did not see her supporting any woman on the stage, nonetheless male, especially Melody Cherie Rogers. I didn't see that, and it was really disheartening, because what I saw when Kimmy did speak up, she spoke up for the men. I saw her speak up on behalf of her husband, trying to explain her position in the marriage. I saw her speak up for Marceau, whatever was pertaining to him and Letitia. I even witnessed her speaking up for old Martell Hope. But when it came to the women, she didn't have anything good to say. She had nothing good to say at all. I think I want to start off with Carlos King. Ooh, excuse me, you guys. I'm about to put the phone down. Y'all see I'm porch picking tonight. But I'm going to start off with Carlos King, when he asked Melody and Kimmy their thoughts on Letitia and Marceau's marriage and the situation and accusations pertaining to their marriage. And you guys, I know if y'all on my channel, y'all already seen it. Not just Mel, but Kimmy also had her head dropped, as if they didn't want to speak on it. They didn't want to speak on it. So Mel was like, go ahead, Kimmy. Kimmy was like, go, Mel. Mel was like, Kimmy, go. She was like, no, Mel, you go. Then finally, Kimmy Scott finally said her piece. I think she said something pertaining to the fact, like, after all this time, after all these years, after all these accusations, if there has not been any proof that Marceau, aka Marcis, has been cheating or any infidelity on his part in his marriage, then I guess she felt like, just leave it alone, right? So then Carlos King's like, well, Mel, what is your take on it? Mel had to think. Being who she is and knowing who's sitting at the table with her, she says, being married and divorced, and I'm paraphrasing you guys, it's not verbatim. Being married and now divorced, so many things going on. When you have kids, all this stuff, you kind of need some concrete evidence that there is something. And when you don't have that, then it's like, whatever. And me, you guys, me listening, I'm like, you know what? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree with her and Kimmy on that point, right? As far as Marceau and Letitia. Well, let's go ahead and skip on over to Kiki. When Carlos brought Kiki out, and Kiki was going back and forth, and oh my God, you guys, like, I witnessed it, I saw it, and I'm just like, Kiki, you're not saying anything that's helping you. Like, nothing she said. When Letitia, said how there was infidelity from her and her husband, that they both brought into their marriage, Kiki agreed. Like, Kiki did not, and I appreciate anybody who's willing to be authentic and tell their truth and being accountable. But Kiki comes with so much rah-rah. Like, I'm ready to pop off or whatever. Like, Kiki, I need you to tone it down. I need you to be more professional. I need you to be more thoughtful before you speak. Kiki, I heard a blogger say months ago, it was last year, some time ago, that reality TV was probably not the place for Kiki. Letitia even said it. Letitia Scott even said it on the reunion, that she didn't want to bring her cousin on. The reason why she didn't want to bring her cousin on, because she knew her cousin had a lot of stuff going on. Like, her cousin has a lot going on. Things that we still yet don't know about. Okay, yes, we know about the drug addiction. Let's be clear, you guys. The addiction to pain medication, which is still addiction nonetheless. But I don't like how they tried to portray it as if Kiki was out here smoking crack, shooting up heroin, or whatever other type of drug terrible drug there is out here. Kiki said it happened. She got addicted to a drug that most people have already dealt with. And I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I have a close friend who some years ago where I kind of felt like she might have been addicted. I didn't say anything to her, but when she was calling around trying to see, because she knew I might have had access because my mom was sick and going through what my mother was going through at the time, she wanted to know if I had anything that I could sell to her, and I did not. I didn't. My heart went out to her, but Kiki's revelation, what Kiki said, it made sense to me. Because she knows I personally have not gone through it, or Marceau or Letitia or anyone else on the panel or anyone else, but it's been a lot of other people who've been through this same situation. Nevertheless, that does not still yet make Kiki look like a victor. And the questions that Carlos King was asking her about her sobriety and whether or not she's done any hard drugs or whatever, I think I don't know if I liked it. I don't think I did like it, because Carlos King, if you really was concerned, considering that Mel had already met up with Kiki, surprisingly, at the storage unit with her and Kiki's husband Amin, and said, let's go ahead and let's just take a test. And Kiki did agree. Mel went that far to prove her sobriety. Carlos King, in my opinion, you were not you should never appointed yourself to ask her certain questions and to be that in depth with the questions. In my opinion, that's just me, because I would have definitely took offense. I would have took offense. I know Kiki was like, I can take a drug test now. Kiki, I'm gonna need you to hold back. I'm gonna need you to stop trying to prove yourself. Yes, you admitted to being a hothead, but yes, your hot-headedness is coming in a way about that you might just be on drugs. So I don't know. I need you to get a publicist. I need Kiki to get someone, if she's gonna come back on Love and Marriage Transfer, I need Kiki to get someone who's gonna be able to talk her through. Because Kiki is talking herself down. I don't know if she realizes that, and I don't like that for her. But getting back to my point with Kimmy Scott, because Kimmy Scott is still on the first step, you guys, of Porch Pickens. Kimmy Scott, when Carlos King asked the panel, I think he went from Marceau and Letitia, and of course she on drugs. That bitch is a crackhead. That bitch is sniffing coke. This bitch is shooting hair. And Letitia and Marceau were held on trying to convince, in my opinion, Carlos King and Productions and the OWN network, Kiki don't need to be here. Kiki's on drugs. Y'all need to get rid of her. She don't need to come back. Get rid of her. I don't want to film with her. I don't want anything to do with her. Get rid of her. And there's also one bigger issue that she's dealing with that we, Letitia and Marceau Scott, are not going to talk about. Because what did Marcis say? Marcis said, I've never, put me down on record, that I've never brought up or said anything that I've heard or I've seen or I smelt, whatever he said, without it already being out there. And Letitia said it wasn't her story to tell, and she wasn't going to do that because she really needs help. Carlos King, she really needs help. Kiki, I'm just a viewer and I'm a blogger. You kind of proved their case. You somewhat proved their case. Instead of you just chilling, and I don't know, maybe you need to chill, honey. You need to chill. But you guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me go back to Kimmy. So, well, no, that's what the Stop 1.0 said. Then let's go to, I want to say Maurice. No, Mel said it. Mel and Stormy both said no, they did not think that Kimmy, excuse me guys, they did not think that Kiki was using drugs. They both said it. But then Maurice, milk dud head, you know, a lawyer, an attorney, he says, sorry you guys, I have some motorcycles passing my house. But Maurice Scott says, the brother of Marcis Scott, he says, well, I just kind of took it as, you know, she was, you know, seizing her moment by getting at Letitia. And he said a year later, we're here talking about it. Here comes Kimmy. Kimmy says, I didn't think that. But Kimmy, being a nurse, a registered nurse, Kimmy says, when she came around the corner, she was like jittery. She was just real sweaty, really, really sweaty. Forget it being fucking hot as hell, okay? Because this is what I said when Kimmy was talking. Like, Kimmy, really. Because honestly, y'all filmed this. It was in the summertime. I don't know, June, July. It's hot. Me personally, I know I'm dealing with some life issues right now, and I get hot. Even when it's cold. So for Kimmy, being a registered nurse, to say that, I didn't like it. She said it looked weird to her. It was off-putting, or whatever word, whatever term she used about it, just not seeming right. Now, unless Kiki was having a heart attack, because I think having a heart attack, you know, you may sweat regardless of the temperature outside or whatever. But for her to say that, knowing that she is in the medical field, I found that to be very low. I found that to be very, very low. Like, unless you was willing to pull out, you know, your high blood pressure tool, or your thermometer to check her temperature, and I'm sure, yeah, of course not. But if you thought it was something that was being done, or her whatever she was dealing with was profuse, it seemed like your medical instincts would have kicked in and be like, girl, let me check it. Girl, you all right? You all right? No, but none of that happened until, you know, she knocked the joint in Letitia's face. And I said it before and I'm gonna say it again, Kiki, that was wrong. That was wrong. That made you look like a fucking animal. An untamed animal. You shouldn't have done it. And if this is how you conduct yourself, Kiki, I'm going back to you, then you definitely don't need to be on reality TV or any television screen or anything that's dealing with anybody who can easily push you to that point, because you have no self-control. If I'm not mistaken, that was, I think, twice that I brought up Kimmy. Why Kimmy was on the first step. The next reason why Kimmy is on the first stoop, the first step, whatever you want to call it, of porch pickings, is because when Carlos King was asking Martell about the visitor he had in the middle of the night in Texas, when they were in Texas, and no one knew other than Maurice. Maurice was the only one, I think, who probably laid eyes on this visitor or whatever, who was supposed to be masseuse. Maurice tried to make it funny. Yeah, I saw her climbing over the fence. Whatever. Y'all be trying to tag team, and I'm starting to see the Scots. We need to eliminate one or two of the Scots. And if anyone asks me, I think Kimmy and Maurice need to be eliminated. I think they need to just go ahead and get off the show. I said it before and I'm saying it again. Kimmy is always the one who's always advocating for someone who needs to be put off the show. I think her, Kimmy Scott, and Maurice Scott, I think they need to be put off the show. They bring nothing. They bring nothing. We care nothing about their sex life. There's nothing appealing about them in any way. Kimmy is, what's the word I want? Kimmy is just not it. Get rid of Kimmy and Maurice. They need to go. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I think Marceau said something or whatever, and of course Letitia was over there chuckling to herself or whatever. And so Carlos King was like, Martell, so how long did she stay? He was like, about an hour. Marty, little buddy. About an hour and a half. That's all I needed. And then he was like, no, that's all she needed. Or you know. And Melanie was like, well, he's lying, or whatever she was saying. He's lying because if it was, massage therapist, she didn't bring in a chair, she didn't bring in a table, she didn't bring any tools in to make sure there was a real massage going on or whatever. And she says that, and then she said all of that or whatever. And then here comes Kimmy. Here comes Kimmy Scott. I'm talking to you, Kimmy Scott. You sitting there with makeup as thick as vampire. Your makeup is thick, honey. I didn't realize how thick that makeup was you had on, honey. I don't know who was your makeup artist, but I don't know. That was they had to do a lot. They did a lot because we seen you and Letitia talking back in Texas when you were getting your makeup done, and your skin was you had a lot of makeup on. That was, in my opinion. But anyway, I'm not even going to talk about her makeup. But Kimmy makes sure to say to Mel, while Mel and Martell and Carlos, they all were going back and forth, Kimmy made a point to say, well, you had a massage therapist too. To Mel. Y'all remember that? Did y'all see that? Did y'all catch that? That's what she said. And Mel looked at her like, girl, what you talking about? And then Mel had to think, well, yeah, I did have a massage while I was there. Hell, I would have to, if I would need me a massage, right? Okay, but y'all gonna think I'm capping for Mel. But for Kimmy to bring that up then, makes me question, well, what the fuck was you and Maurice really doing that night or at that place? Were y'all sitting out here trying to figure out what's going on? Because remember, you guys, when Letitia and Marcel were having that argument, Maurice, when God knocked on the door, tried to get involved. Marcel got up because he was out. Maurice was outside the bedroom talking to Letitia, and he told Maurice, his brother, I don't need this right now. Like, like he didn't want Maurice to get involved. And Maurice was like, I'm just trying to talk to her, whatever. And Letitia was like, he's talking to me. What you out here for? And they were drunk. Let's call a thing a thing. Letitia was drunk. And Marceau had done had over his limit too. But not to the point where Letitia was. Letitia was drunk. If y'all ain't realized that, Letitia was drunk. Letitia was acting just like the hood booger, Bessemer finest, the Beverly Hills, the Bessemer Hillbillies that they are. She was lit. She was lit. And I ain't gonna say nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. But that's what that scene was about. Then Maurice said he was on his way to, after, he's finished talking to Letitia and Marceau, he said he went to go get him a snack, but he was on his way to the pool. I think he was on his way to the pool. On his way to the pool, he sees Martell ushering in a stranger. Y'all know we tell our kids stranger danger. And if no one else is going to say it, I'm going to say it. The reason why Martell bringing some strange person to the house they all were occupying was disrespectful. Because whoever that person was, that young lady, whatever she was, that time of night, that time of morning, she could have came up in there with a bomb. She could have came up in there and killed every damn body. But nobody says that. No one has said that. And I was hoping Nell, if nobody else would have said it. Because Kimmy ain't gonna say nothing against Martell. Letitia gonna keep her mouth closed because Martell apparently is holding secrets, in my opinion, and this is alleged, and also in my opinion, that's why they all, because I don't see a bunch of grown-ass women. I just don't see grown-ass women in 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020 who just gonna take this man's side after everything that he's done. Unless they are being brainwashed by their husbands. And I say that for Kimmy and Letitia. But I also feel, given the right opportunity, Letitia will sing like a bird. Just like she sung on her cousin, just like she sung on every reunion that we've seen. Letitia came out saying she don't say much during the reunion. Oh no, Letitia, you run your mouth, honey. You don't say nothing during the episodes. You don't say anything during the season. You have a build-up, and your build-up comes at the reunion. So stop trying to act like people coming for you. People coming for you. People trying to talk to you. People have been trying to talk to you, but you don't want to hear it. It's not wrong with constructive criticism, but some people can't handle that. Letitia's one of them. She cannot handle constructive criticism. That's fine. We see it for what it is, and we don't care. But yeah, that's what Kimmy did. When the heat was on Martell from Carlos King about this massage therapist, she made it known, because I didn't know it. I didn't hear anything about Mel having a massage therapist come up there, and it's not that it's a big deal, but she made it known. Well, you had a therapist, you had someone come, so that makes me believe Maurice and Kimmy, knowing they ain't got shit else going on, because they don't, because nobody cares about what they do in their sex life. We don't fucking care. Like that's like ugh, to us. We don't care. Maurice is not appealing. He's not attractive. He's not any of those things. Kimmy. And Kimmy, we don't care. You got a whole grown ass son who's watching this shit. And if nothing else, I feel bad for him because he has to deal with this. We talk about the younger kids dealing with the backlash of Love and Marriage Huntsville, but we don't talk about the grown kids. Kimmy, your son Jalen Grant is a whole grown ass man. I'm pretty sure he don't want to hear about this shit, but I don't know. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Kimmy, why would you bring that up? Why would you try to throw her under the bus like that? Just to get some screen time? No, y'all were out there. Y'all was up and y'all was watching to see what the hell was going on with every damn body, because y'all ain't got shit going on with yourselves. You don't. And finally, I want to bring up another instance with Kimmy. Y'all, excuse my Bella. Bella! And you guys, I tried to rewind and go back to try to find this particular scene on the reunion with Kimmy, but I didn't have the patience, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, because I just didn't have the patience for it. I was so bored, right? But I want to say Carlos asked Kimmy something about Martell and Melanie. And Kimmy flat out came out and said she didn't care. And if I remember correctly, she said, I don't care. I mean, they're not together anymore. So excuse me. She didn't care. But she went on answering the question, and I can't remember exactly what it was, you guys. If you remember, please, send it to me, comment what it was. Let me know, because I want to know. I want to know, because Kimmy has been, I'm going to say this. Kimmy, as we've all seen, has automatically jumped on the Scots sides. Right or wrong, indifferent, she's going to be right there and she's going to support the Scots, right? We've seen it. It is what it is, right? But I want to kind of go back, and I hope she's listening to this commentary that I'm doing on her. I want her to go back to when she was trying to make Kiowa an issue in their marriage. She was bringing up Kiowa, wanting to meet with Kiowa. Well, Maurice wanted her to meet with Kiowa, because I guess that's the only thing he just wanted. I guess these niggas, these Negroes, want women to fight over them. I guess this is what Huntsville, Alabama got to offer. They just want women to fight over them, right? Kimmy, if you, and I'm speaking directly to Kimmy Scott, if nothing else, granted, Letitia might not have had to deal with any type of infidelity other than hearsay, other than pictures, other than videos, other than lies, other than every other thing. She's not going to fall victim to it because it's a lie to her, right? But Kimmy, you married a man who has a child from his ex-wife. And if no one else knows this, let me be the first one to say it. Maurice Scott has more than just monster. I want to say Maurice has at least 2 or 3 other kids. Don't ask me how I know, but he has other kids. We have yet to see or hear anything about them. The focus was on Monster. And Kiowa. Kiowa has been married way before Kimmy and Maurice even got married. She was married to her husband, who she's married to as of today, as far as I know. But they use Kiowa to be a storyline. And during that time, I think we all were kind of rooting for Kimmy, or trying to see the right and the wrong. Between Kimmy and Maurice before they got married. Let's not forget, Kimmy said that if it was not because she was married to Maurice, that she would be friends with Letitia. But since then, after that came out, she's been doing everything she could possibly do to be friends and make nice or play nice with Letitia, just so the Scots could be cohesive. And this is why I say the Scots are bullies. And this is why I also say 1 of 2 of the Scots need to be eliminated. We need to get them off the show. And in my opinion, I think it needs to be Kimmy and Maurice. They need to go. They bring absolutely nothing to the show. Letitia and Marceau, they're coming in and they're going to use whatever they can, because let's be clear, you guys, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm not trying to be funny or throw jabs or whatever, but they didn't have shit before they came on the show. Like, for real, they didn't have anything. They didn't have anything to the point where they should be on the show. And when Marcis was telling Mel in that one episode that he just sees somebody throwing things on the wall and see if it was gonna stick. Yeah, he was talking about himself. He wasn't talking about Mel. He was using any and everything that he had to bring her down, but also to build him up. It's sad when you are married to a man who wants to be the biggest bitch in charge. And maybe I shouldn't say it that way. Well, if I'm talking about a man, I'm going to say it that way. Want to be the biggest bitch in charge. Marceau dismantled, he helped dismantle the hoax. And if you guys don't remember in prior episodes, when they first built Black Up, how Marceau and Letitia were sitting up in their little blue and white office, their royal blue and white office, like they were the next head NIC in charge. I was like, no, this is not where the story is going. This cannot be where the story is going, because if this is where the story is going, I'm not about to watch it. Martell Hope was the weakest link, is the weakest link and forever is going to be the weakest link, because he and his bros, Martell and Marceau and Maurice, they've been out here hoeing around, in my opinion. They've been out here hoeing around. And you can see it when we watch the reviews and when we watch the interactions with them, especially the reviews, how they sit and joke with one another as if this is all a game to them. Look how Martell and Maurice was sitting there, doing fish lips to one another or big eyes to one another. Like you guys are, the only men, and I know you guys watched the reunion, all three. The only men I saw on this stage, to be honest with you, who actually stood by their women and was not trying to clout chase like Marceau. Marceau was saying whatever he could possibly say because he wants to make sure his check is secured for the next season. Anybody knows that. And even Bell had to say, y'all did good. Y'all did good. Y'all did good. Yeah, but the viewers, us, me, y'all look like shit. Y'all look like a total disgrace. You grown-ass men out here playing. Pushing up on women. And pushing up on women, I mean, trying to make women bow down to you. It was a disgrace. I appreciate Big Louis, and Tiffany. I'm gonna be honest with you. I appreciate Courtney. And even Stormy. I appreciated Chris Fletcher and Mel Fletcher. And Mel said this, and I was happy she said it. She gave Nell and Chris Fletcher their flowers, letting us know that they were great mentors, like family to them. Out of everybody on the show, she had to say it, but if you were listening to her, she made, out of everybody on the show, Nell and Chris Fletcher, even before Nell agreed to come on the show, Chris Fletcher was already trying to push and get them on the show. She said how they've been brother and sister to them. Not Mel, but Martell, he tried to diminish that, thinking women's supposed to bow down and not talk back against them. Now, I'm so, we need to bring that type of dynamic into this. We do. Carlos King, we definitely need somebody on Mel's side, because everybody, it's obvious that the panel is one-sided. We don't have Tiffany and Lou no more. They're not coming back for right now. Stormy and Courtney, we can't really count on them. Stormy kind of, just like her name, she wavers. She wavers a little too much. She wavers too much. And you guys, I'm not even going to get into Stormy and what she said to Mel and Miss Betty, because I think Mel said enough. Shame on you, Miss Betty. Shame on you, Miss Betty, like anybody can get. Shame on you. Your daughter's a whole grown woman with her whole own family. And whether or not Stormy, Miss Betty, Courtney, whoever else is listening, whether or not Mel saw the comment after a tweet she made, I don't care. Because you know why? And it makes me feel like you guys actually play us down, the bloggers, the people who actually watch the show, you kind of play us down because we're going to have our own voice. Regardless of what. You say Mel could have went and corrected it. Well, she did. She didn't correct it. She let it stand for what it was. From what we saw, yeah, it looked like Stormy was the one. And like Mel said, why your mama coming at me? Stormy. Miss look, Carlos, you should have told Miss Berry to go ahead and go way before she went and left. Because why would you let her come at Melody this way? Melody has already dealt with enough. She done had to deal with Miss Wanda. She done had to deal with a whole lot. Ain't nobody on the cast up until the Fletchers came on the scene had her back or has her back. And it's sad. And now you bring in Miss Betty. And Miss Betty, you actually looked nice. You was dressed in all black like the Omen, but you look nice. But regardless of how you look, it didn't stop you from showing your ugly ass colors. And poor Stormy was over there begging you. She even had to call you by your government. Betty, stop. Betty, you thought you was back there in the woods somewhere. But Melanie handled you with grace. She did. She handled you with grace. But you guys, that's it on my commentary about that. I just wanted to kind of get at Kimmy Scott because Kimmy Scott, you know, I think everybody was kind of rooting for her with everything she had going on. Thinking Kimmy, you know, had an open mind, or Kimmy, you know, was just authentic or whatever. And also what she went through or whatever. We kind of thought we kind of had bigger hopes for Kimmy, but I see now Kimmy is just a Scot. And over here we don't deal with the Scots like that. But you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Porch Picking. Sorry this video was kind of long. I appreciate you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, and I'm gonna get back at y'all. Good night.